in Texas, so we have the barn burner of a U.S. Senate race between Ken Paxton, probably the most corrupt attorney general in office right now, who is actually impeached by a Republican House. He is on one side. He beat the incumbent, John Cornyn, the U.S. Senator, in a runoff. He will be facing James Talarico, who has been raising a lot of money. He's a seminary student. He is getting a lot of crossover support. But Edwin, I thought was really fascinating. Ken Paxton was on Fox News over the weekend, and his biggest defense is, hey, I'm just like Donald Trump, so you should vote for him. And let's watch that now.
What are you going to do about your own record and your own perception? The Wall Street Journal describes you as scandal plagued.
Well, look, that was all pushed by Karl Rove, and I understand how that works, and I get why they said that. But the reality is, they could say the same thing about Donald Trump. When you're fighting the fight, unfortunately, you get attacked, and you have to defend yourself. And when you do that, and they're not successful, they still accuse you of things. Accusations don't mean that the thing actually happened. They have to prove these things in our country. That they did not do with President Trump, and that they did not do with me. And yet they continue to act like something bad happened when they have no proof of it.
Yeah. Well, Edwin, actually, we did prove that against Donald Trump. He has been convicted in several courts of law, both for what he did to sexually assault E. Jean Carroll, who his Justice Department is now going after with a criminal probe, and also on corruption charges. So not a great comparison, but it makes sense to me that this is the road Ken Paxton is going down, because he's seen the polling. He knows he's in trouble.
Ken Paxton is a revolting man. He is he's not a felon. He wasn't convicted, but he was impeached, and Donald Trump helped the party to let him off. He was charged with very serious crimes, and Trump's Justice Department looked the other way. Look, he is in my mind, he's a criminal, even if he's not been found guilty in court. But remember, this Justice Department is compromised. But his campaign consists of saying that James Talarico is a vegan, right? I mean, okay, James Talarico is a Texas vegan, and let's be clear what that means. That means he will allow a beefsteak tomato to put on his hamburger, right? I mean, the man's been eating barbecue, as Talarico even says, I've been eating barbecue since before Paxton was indicted, But so they're going to say, oh, he's a trans, he's gay, he's upside down, he's a Martian, really. You should, like, whatever they're going to say, they're going to make up whatever is their socially divisive lie of the day. And it's so painful, Susan, because what they think is good politics, right, is just to take a whole group of Americans and say, if you're like them, or if you're even open to them, you're not fit for office. Not one of these people, Talarico, Trump, any of them, wants to be president of all of America. Not one of them. They want to be president of whatever is the biggest subset of America they think will get them elected, and everybody else is going to be exploited and work for them. And I'm sorry, that's not the deal we signed up for in 1776 or 1789 when the Constitution got done. None of that. They're just out of step with our history. So Ken Paxton, Florida, Texas is a very red state. He might win. It's repulsive to think about. But Talarico is not taxing the country, the Democratic Party institutions around the country, because he's able to raise his own funds.
Right.
And that's not true for Paxton. So I hope Talarico wins, and he has a chance. But the whole country's going to owe him a huge debt of thanks, whether he wins or not, because it's a net huge drain on Republican resources to defend that asshole in Texas.
Absolutely. And I mean, this campaign is going to get about as ugly as it comes. I mean, the fact that basically the message that's coming out of the Republican Party is who cares how unlikable, how adulterous, how corrupt Ken Paxton is? He's facing a guy who's gay or trans, so you know what to do.
Which
it's only going to get worse from here.
Absolutely right. And without casting any aspersions on gay or trans, it also is just not true.
Right.
Right.
But the idea that is like the worst thing that you can be is just so thoroughly disheartening and disgusting in the year 2026 in America.
I think the entire Republican Party it has forfeited its legitimacy in the democracy. And, Donald Trump does it all the time, talking about how much he hates America's cities, how much he hates Democrats, how much he hates, with Pete Hegseth, blacks and women. They should not have any power in the military. And this week in Minnesota, the Minnesota Republican Party met, and they had, before they opened their meeting, they all stood for a moment of silence in solidarity with Derek Chauvin, the cop who murdered George Floyd, who's in prison for it. But this is what they thought they should do. Hey, you know what? We got a lynching here, and they caught our boy, and we need to have some solidarity with him. I mean, that is just, Susan, I was sick reading it. That is not a path forward for America. It is not a path forward. No matter what these people think they're doing, they are not going to take a third of our country and throw us in the Atlantic and the Pacific. That's just not going to happen. We are here, and we will not be exploited by them. We won't be used by them. We won't be ignored by them. We are not invisible, and we are not powerless.
Yeah. I mean, really, the Republican Party has become a party of sadism. I mean, that is really the bottom line for that party.
Coercion and hate.
And Donald Trump, is not the only person pushing this. Once Donald Trump is off the stage, this is what they're going to be left with: a bunch of groypers and racists and, people.
And they hate women more than they hate anybody. I mean,
right. People who want to make America white again. And that is what this party is. And that is not a formula for a majority in this country, which is why they're working so hard to only make sure that their supporters are able to vote.
And just to be clear, it's completely disgusting on its own, but it also impacts everybody's pocketbook. Because while you're busy spending all your energy trying to put people down, trying to do the division, trying, by the way, to change the subject so that's what people look at, you create space for the corruption that just simply makes your life miserable. No matter what you look like, no matter where you live, no matter what you believe, whether you're in a rural farm community or down the street here in Chicago, the policies that this administration are undertaking while they're busy dividing us are robbing from us.